Okay, it's Matt Coffy again with ProfitEngines, another story about building a better and stronger presence for your online business or your online activities. We're really going to go into something we've had a request, and this is something I think that needs to be explained anyways. It's something that I come back to every once in a while, which is, what is SEO? And a lot of people are trying to determine whether or not an SEO strategy is right for their business. And obviously, doing this for now going on about 7 years for my own business, and before that, actually doing it back in the, believe it or not, early 2000s, really, what is SEO? Okay? SEO is a process. Okay? So what you really need to know is what are the main functions of SEO as a process. The back to basics really starts with looking at an audit. Okay? So an audit of your site, your competitors, what the market's like, what your competitive ranges are, really where you fit in the ecosystem online versus your other competitors. That's the most important thing beginning the process. So if you think about SEO, just like having someone do a financial plan for you, or how do you do financial planning, you take an audit of all of your activity that you're doing. Same thing with SEO. You really look at competition and your own organization of the content that you have and what your site's about. First step is first. So that's what we would do normally when we talk about working with someone from an SEO perspective, is what have you done in the past to do an audit of what your site is about and how you can present it to your audience. The number two thing to do, and this is really what you probably think where we come in, is, okay, what needs to be fixed? Now, a lot of people know they need SEO, but it doesn't make any sense until you know what needs to be fixed. So after you've done your audit, you get an idea of what needs to be fixed because you can look at it and find out what's missing. And a lot of people don't update their site, don't really look at what the competition is doing, don't look at their calls to action, all the things that are on a website that really make sense. Now, let's just give them the fact that what we normally see are three things. That with Google's Webmaster Tools or Search Console, there's errors all throughout Webmaster Tools Console. So this is simply a way that Google will tell you what problems you have on your website. There's missing pages, there's broken parts of your website, there's missing parts. There's all sorts of elements that are in your Webmaster Tools. So as long as you make sure that your Webmaster Tools account is looked at, they'll actually tell you all the things that need to be fixed from a on-page, or what we call on-site SEO strategy. The next thing, which is pretty much critically important, is your web pages. How they're set up. Do they have topical relevance? Do they even have good English? Do they have the real things that make sense about a website, which is that you actually have something that can be readable by a human and by Google. So those web pages have to be set up in a certain way to make sure that they're actually readable. The next thing is, and of course you can probably understand where we play a lot, is the backlinks. So backlinks are the links you get from other websites that connect to you, and that brings authority to your website. So if you have links from other high authority websites that have meaningful purpose and relate to your niche of your business, those backlinks count as how SEO works. Okay, so number three. Number three is your keywords, right? So everybody knows that their business is about something, and your keywords are critically important to what you're trying to accomplish. So, the keywords relate to the content, which we'll get into in a minute, But what you need to understand is the intent. The intent of your user. What are they trying to do, buy, or get? And have your ideas of what those things that they would type into Google would be, right? So we look at the intent, and we want to create topics around those, right? So we want to think about your topics for your keywords so that we can place it into the content, okay? Number 4. Number 4 is backlink building, right? So we want to look at backlinks as a big piece, right? So backlinks, and there's 3 types. We want to look at your citational. So that's really your location, your information about your company. We want to look at the second most, and probably really what you want to do is you want to look at other places to put your content. So we really want to look at blogs, right? So we want to write content that other blogs can pick up that's good for them. So they'll pick it up naturally, right? Blogs, good content. So once you write your content, your backlinks get picked up. And then 3, we want to look at outreach. So outreach to other blogs and other bloggers where our topic of our website is similar to their topic or a parallel topic. So we can get backlinks from outreach, from other blogs that are picking up our content, and from citational work. These are really the main 3 things. This is really just talking about backlinks. Now, here's where it becomes interesting and the most important one, which is really number 5, which is content, right? So we talked about this in the keywords, but content and content mapping is the key. So when we talk to customers, what we really talk about is taking this content and really thinking through the mapping of it. We want to do on-site. So the one thing we want to do is we want to get content on your website. This means your own blog posts, right? And your own video. Could be anything from text to video to pictures, all the pieces of content you need to think about and put it into a schedule that you want to put up on a monthly basis. Now, the second thing we want to think about is distribution, right? So we want to get that content distribution. So that distribution needs to get out to, these again, the most important things, into either influencers or into other social sites so people can pick up the content. Now, this is the sort of one piece that you would probably think this would be easy, but it's the hardest thing of all is to get people to pick up your content and move it through the process of distribution. But we can build out some of this by doing this outreach business, which is really part of the whole SEO strategy. Again, one of the things you can think about as part of this is to get guest posts, right? To go to other authors and they can take your content and get it out there and write it. Now, these real elements, getting a good audit done, what needs to be fixed, making sure that everything is technically good with the site from a Google perspective, getting your keyword strategy built out, getting the content and the intent and the topics built from those, getting your backlink strategies built out so that you can get your physical location set up, getting in touch with authors of other blogs that relate to your topics of your own website, and then get the content mapping built out so you can build your own content, get that content distributed, use social influencers, and then talk potentially to guest posting environments where you can get someone to post a guest blog on their environment as part of your overall SEO strategy. Again, this is a process. It's done repetitively. We're always fixing, we're always looking at auditing and looking at other competitors, looking for opportunities where we see that other things are out there, ranking ahead of our customers where we can help get them on top of those positions. So that is SEO in a process. We'll get into the more specific details in another episode. I hope this helps. And the one thing you can do after you do all this is measure it and evaluate it and then rebuild your strategy every month. That's exactly what we do for clients, and we hope we can help you at some point as well.